Welcome back to Not Another Podcast with Tony and Dana, episode 6.
We've only done 6 episodes and you're already wondering what number it was. It's not like 866.
What do you mean only 6 episodes? You haven't had a job in more than 6 episodes?
Great. We're starting it like this. It's going to be a great show.
That's okay. How is your time off?
Boring.
Yeah?
I'm bored.
Okay. It's,
So I'm
it's
doing
like a
like-
little taste of retirement in a way.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to that. You know, my dad is retired and he tells me all the time how he's bored. And I'm like, I get it.
Now you get it.
I get it. Yeah. I'm not exactly ready to go back to work,
But you're still bored.
but I'm still bored. So I'm trying to find stuff around the house. Pretty much whatever you give me on the list is what I decide to do.
Yeah. Got to paint the doors, the closet doors, because we tried to paint the marks and it was a different color white.
Right,
So now
yeah.
it looks spotted.
Well, when we moved into this house, there was a bunch of cans of paint downstairs that the old owner didn't get rid of.
And they were not marked.
And
they
they're not
weren't
marked.
labeled with anything.
So we're trying to figure out what goes with what, and it's been a bit of a disaster. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, and actually the past couple of weeks and months, I've noticed something about dogs. And that there are dogs in almost any store you go to now. And I'm just curious when our like culture changed over having animals, like your pets in the stores with you. I remember people used to bring like maybe their little dogs if they stayed in a bag or in a purse.
Yep.
But now people are bringing like large dogs on a leash into a store, like any store. Like at Indigo, there was 2 large dogs. They were barking. HomeSense had a bunch of dogs in it. Winners over the weekend, I noticed. I'm not like anti-dog in stores. I don't care. But if I was somebody who was like really afraid or allergic or whatever, I don't know, that might annoy me. I don't know. It's just weird. I always thought like dogs weren't allowed in stores.
We definitely noticed it this weekend because we went to a few places where people brought dogs in. And I don't remember it saying dog friendly on the door. I don't have problems with dogs, but it's funny because you complained. You're like, why is everyone bringing dogs into everywhere? And then 2 seconds later, who's a good boy?
I know.
Who's a good boy?
They were so cute
Yeah.
and I wanted to pet them, but still I'm surprised. Like I always thought like, no, you're not allowed to bring your dog into any store. And people are just bringing their dogs on a leash into a store.
I think it's because people aren't stopping them. Nobody from the store is going to be like, you can't do that. Who's going to tell a cute dog to get out? No one's going to tell that, right? And they weren't, I noticed people have emotional support dogs. They're not clearly labeled emotionally support
Or they're
dog
not,
vest.
and they're not service dogs because
dogs.
they're not wearing the special service
Yep,
vest.
right.
So you know that they're just people's pets.
They're just people's pets. Yeah, exactly.
And listen, I'm not trying to be like a Karen or anything, but because I do like dogs, but I'm gonna bring my cats in the store now.
No, that would be even stranger.
That
would be even stranger.
Well, people walk their cats. There are people that leash train their cats.
I don't think you should do that.
Why not?
Because as somebody who had a cat growing up, and I think the worst thing we did was let it out and let it be an outdoor cat. Because once a cat, I find, gets taste of the outdoors, they're like, that's all they want. And they meow constantly and they like pull at the door. Like our cat ruined our screen door like 3 times because it would jump up on the screen trying to get out of the house.
Well, just like a dog, when you take dog for a walk, it's like the best part of their day, right? They love to be outside.
Right, yeah.
So you would take your cat on multiple daily walks. That's the idea of leash training a cat, is that now you take your cat out for a walk every day.
And you said you get the cat a stroller. So would you
Oh,
get
that's
Ozzy and
something
Willow
else.
a double stroller?
I don't know if I would do that anymore.
Right.
Because I think that people would think that I'm nuts and I've lost it.
Totally.
But there are strollers you can get for your pets. One of my girlfriends has a French bulldog and she has a stroller for her French bulldog, but that's because her French bulldog is lazy.
Oh, okay.
So she takes her French bulldog out in the stroller to get a little
Exercise.
outdoor.
Wait, that's not exercise because
fresh
you're
air.
pushing it around.
I guess fresh air. But I would do the same for the cats if I knew that I wouldn't be judged for it.
There's those backpacks too. You know, those clear backpacks that you can put the pet.
You can put
in
your
the
cat in the
and it's got
backpack.
little air holes.
Yeah.
Which I find odd. I find strange.
Yeah, I don't know. Do our pets want that? I mean, right now we have 2 cats and they don't know the taste of the outdoors, and I'm fine with that. I'm just like surprised that the culture is shifting on that. Before it was like, oh my God, you don't bring your dog into the store. And
Yeah.
now we're seeing a change in that.
No, next time we see a dog in the store, you can complain to the management.
I'm not going to be that person.
Excuse me.
That's not
this
me.
adorable puppy that's making everyone happy is kind of bumming me out. So could you please leave?
Okay, then no, that'll never be me. No.
So I kind of had a rough start to the morning. Found a gray hair, another gray hair. Look, I have no problem growing gray.
Oh, you have lots of gray hairs.
Cool.
Well, you have one in your beard. Look, you have a couple in your
I have
beard.
one in my beard and it kind of sticks out. I'd rather just wake up and be salt and pepper one day, because when it comes in slowly, it's just like, it just get to it. Because I don't mind going gray, but it's just like one random one and just reminds me.
I could see that. I don't mind going gray either. I don't mind, but I did pluck. I had one gray hair growing like right at the top of my scalp.
Right
like,
in the middle of your
right
forehead?
in where my part is. And every time it starts growing back, I pluck it out.
Should never do that. You know what they say?
For every gray hair you pluck, 10 will grow in its place. That's
Yeah.
not true.
So I woke up and then I looked at, I'm like, that's new. Have you done that? That's new. And as you get older, you say that about a lot of things. Moles, gray hairs. And I remember the first time I found a gray hair was
on your pubes.
It was a pube.
Why is that the first place to go gray?
It's the one I've done the most work in. Yeah.
Oh,
I was very lonely. I didn't say it was with anybody else. Could have been by myself. But would you rather kind of slowly get to your grays, or would you rather kind of wake up one day and it's not like completely different, because that'd be too much of a shock.
Yeah.
But just get to it faster?
I don't know. When you have long hair, I feel like it's different because it takes a long time to grow out.
Yeah.
And like go fully gray. And I
Right.
love the look of fully gray. Like my mom decided to just embrace her gray and stop dyeing her hair.
Yeah.
She hates it. I think it looks amazing. I love gray hair. I think I'm excited for that time when I'm full gray. Not for when it's like spotty, but when I'm full gray.
Do you remember that trend a couple years ago when people were dyeing their hair gray?
Yeah, like silver.
Like a silver hair?
Yeah.
I was in the car. I was giving my parents a lift this week, and my dad has gone white.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, your dad has like nice hair. Like if you get old, that's the kind of hair, that's the color you want.
Well, you go silver to white, right?
Yeah.
And my mom still has a lot of dark hair, but she has
a couple grays. Yeah.
Right? Because she's in her 60s. And the way they argue is so funny, because my mom's like, you give me all this gray hair. And then my dad's like, what? I have white hair. Yeah. And then she goes, yeah, but that's not my fault.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think stress does actually like contribute to gray hair as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like my mom blames me. My mom blames me for the gray hair because I was gave her so much stress when I was a teenager.
Did you give your mom stress? Is your mom like kind of, she's
oh,
an
my mom's a hard
case.
ass, and
she's an anxiety case.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
But I didn't help. I definitely didn't help.
Right.
And then my grandmother has less gray hair than my mother. My grandmother is mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, it's true. I think stress can definitely affect your hair.
Did you ever dye your hair a funky color?
I used to dye my hair.
Well, you used to have ombre, right? When I first met you, you had like three-stage hair color.
Yeah, like a purple ombre. And I used to always like my signature hair color was bright red, kind of like Rihanna.
Fire Engine Red.
In the Loud album. So I started dyeing my hair that color. I did my hair that color for 10 years. And then it's like everything gets stained that color. All your towels, all your bed sheets, your clothes, everything starts to turn that color.
Right.
So I stopped.
I have jet black hair, so I wanted to dye my hair, but every time you can't, because you have to like double dye it.
You have to bleach it. You have to lift your color out of your hair and then add a color on top of that.
But
you should do.
I know what you're about to say.
You should bleach. I want Tony to bleach his hair so bad. Like just total bleach blonde.
Like Schwartz.
With the dark
in
beard.
VPR.
I think would look so cool.
How much would that cost?
I don't know, because for women it's really expensive to dye your hair. Like we're talking like $200 minimum.
Just to bleach your hair?
Oh my God, yeah. And style it and everything.
I can do it at home if I want. I wouldn't. I wouldn't, but you can.
Oh, you can, but I wouldn't.
So what's the process of bleaching your hair? So you go in, they wash your hair, obviously. And
No. You don't. They don't wash your hair first. They bleach it, and then you have to sit with it, and they add heat. Usually, you sit under a lamp.
What? Like those old women with the curlers?
Then you wash it out. Then they got to tone it because sometimes it'll be really yellow. So they add a toner to take the yellowness out.
But then my eyebrows will be black.
I think it would look cool.
I don't have a job, so maybe I could. I wonder how much it would cost for me.
You have short hair, so it might be a bit cheaper. But everything is cheaper for men. It's so unfair. Pink tax, man. That's a real thing.
Pink tax?
They call it the pink tax. The added cost to everything for women versus men.
So hair's one.
They could make something for men and it would be one price, and then they'd make the exact same thing for women, and they would make it just a little more expensive. And like razors, right?
Yeah.
Razors for men
Are
versus
expensive.
razors for women are even more expensive.
What kind of razor do you have? Do you have a disposable?
I have a disposable.
Yeah. No,
Like
I have like
Venus.
a Mach 3. So I have to buy heads for it every, like once it gets old, you just toss it, put another one in. It's like $30 for 5 heads.
Why don't you buy disposable ones?
Because disposable ones aren't great. Like the ones I'm thinking of is the disposable ones where like it's a white razor with 2 blades.
2 blades.
You're lucky if you have 2 blades.
You're cutting yourself every little while.
Mach 3 for 3 blades. And there's Chic Quattro, which has 4 blades. And then there's
Mach 5?
I don't know if there's a Mach 5.
Isn't there a Mach 5 with 5 blades?
Is there 5 blades? It might be like the Gillette Cinco for 5 blades. I don't know.
How many blades at what point is too many blades?
I stick with 3 blades.
3
but to be
blades.
honest, I don't really shave anymore. Like
Clearly.
I shave around. I don't have a job.
I don't have a job beard.
What's wrong with my beard?
No, nothing. No, I didn't mean anything by
It's because now I have a time to grow it out.
Yeah,
and
you're
scare
so
people.
self-conscious about your beard, though. You're always asking me if it looks too wild.
Anyways, we can stop talking about my beard.
Speaking of gray hair, kind of related. Did you see my rant about Kris Jenner that I posted on my Instagram story
Was it about
or
her
my TikTok
facelift?
the other day? Her facelift. If you haven't seen Kris Jenner, who is 70 years old this year, she looks 38, roughly, with her new facelift. She got like a deep plane facelift.
She looks kind of like her daughters.
Yes, she looks like Kim. She honestly, like, it's hard to tell the difference between her and Kim. It's crazy. And I just went on a rant on my TikTok and my Instagram being like, I just feel like it's not, a 7-year-old is not supposed to look like that. And I'm sorry, but I'm not against plastic surgery, but I don't think it's mentally healthy for us to even see 7-year-olds that look like that. That's not normal.
Because do you think it's normalizing not aging, not wanting to age?
Normalizing spending as much money and doing whatever you can to not look old.
Yeah.
When this is what is meant to happen to us. We're supposed to get old,
Thanks, Instagram.
right?
Well, that's Instagram for you, right?
Yeah,
I
pretty
think it's
much. Whoever did the work is phenomenal.
Yeah.
They should get a Nobel Peace Prize for that. I don't know. if
Nobel Peace Prize. Kris Jenner's face has brought world peace. Who would have thunk it? There's no better way to sell facelifts, by the way.
The only prestigious like medal award I could think of in the moment, but somebody should get an award for that work because it's phenomenal. I think it's morally like wrong, but the work is good.
You know how I feel about them, right?
The Kardashians, yeah.
I feel like they have brought more damage to society
Agree.
than I think they have good.
Agree.
Even though Kim, I heard she just passed her bar exam. She's like officially a lawyer now.
She can be. Yeah, I think she can become a lawyer if she wants now.
Is she gonna be like a lawyer who stays off camera, or is she gonna get her own like Judge K show?
God, that'd be hilarious.
You know what I mean? I think they've done more damage with how they've kind of presented themselves, and I don't know if they intentionally made women feel like they need to look a certain way to be okay, but that's how
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if it was if it was intentional or not. They've done it. They've
Right.
created a standard. They've changed society's expectations
of women.
and how they should look and how they should age.
Mhm.
And that's what Kris Jenner is contributing to now. And I think it's messed up. And I think we need to see more real aging faces. And we do. They still exist in celebrity and in media.
But the problem is she's right. Kris is like right there with the family.
And everybody's covering the, oh my God, look how phenomenal she looks. She looks amazing. Like, we're praising her because she had a lot of money to spend. You know, I think that's really weird.
People are praising her for her facelift, and then people are praising Pamela Anderson for not wearing any makeup. It's like you get praise for everything, and it's funny, you get praise for the polar opposites.
Yeah.
For letting yourself age gracefully and for kind of trying to stop aging a little bit by getting a facelift.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, everyone's used to say, Chloe's the most down to earth and the most relatable. And then, that kind of went its way too.
Yeah, I know.
You got to do what you can to stay relevant. And I guess, is she doing it to
Plastic
stay relevant?
surgery is relevant for them, I guess.
Well, it's part of the routine now, I guess.
I mean,
They've
yeah,
all had
that's
work
what,
done, right?
oh yeah, that's
Like,
what
you
they,
see Kylie's pictures before and after.
they're essentially known for getting work done.
Yeah.
It's one of the big things that they're always in the news about, right? So makes sense. It's on brand for them.
Well, as long as people keep buying products and keep clicking like and stuff, they're just going to keep doing it, right?
Exactly.
So it's a lot easier for a guy to age than women to age.
It is. I saw a TikTok about this too. Somebody was like, when are we going to appreciate medium ugly women the way we appreciate medium ugly men.
Medium ugly women.
For example, everybody loves, and this is the example that was used in this TikTok, everybody is obsessed with Jeremy Allen White.
He's
Jeremy
not a good looking
Allen White,
dude.
so hot, right? But conventionally unattractive.
Conventionally, yes.
Conventionally. I think he's attractive. But conventionally, by beauty standards, he is not. You know, he doesn't have a symmetrical face. He kind of looks like
a worm.
You know, he should play what's that movie that I hate? The Chocolate Factory movie there.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Like he looks like Gene Hackman in that movie.
Gene Hackman's on Willy Wonka.
Not
and the
Gene
Chocolate
Hackman.
Factory.
What's his name? What's the actor's
Johnny Depp.
name?
Oh,
No.
Timothy Chalamet.
No, the old one.
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. That's it.
Right. A movie she refuses to watch, by the way.
It's so weird and creepy. I think it's creepy.
It's charming.
No, it's creepy.
It's charming.
And I agree that in that TikTok, this girl's like, there are no actresses, there's no women in media that get that kind of attention.
Either you're hot or you're
when
ugly.
they're unconventionally
Attractive.
when they're conventionally unattractive.
Conventionally unattractive.
Only really, really, really good looking people or women in Hollywood get the love. I'm trying to think of somebody off the top of my head.
I brought up an actress the other day. I'm like, I don't find her attractive, but people do.
Talking about Selena Gomez, but you
Selena
just
Gomez.
Don't like Selena Gomez as a person. I feel
No.
So you're
I have
biased.
What?
You're always shit talking Selena Gomez.
I should talk her acting. She's a terrible actress.
Yeah,
she can't act.
She's not the greatest.
Watch her in Only Murders in the Building, and to be honest, I had to stop watching that show because she can't act. She can't.
Selena Gomez is not a good example for this because she is, by beauty standards, attractive.
Okay.
She is. I want to say like maybe Rebel Wilson.
Yeah.
She might be considered by Hollywood or media standards conventionally unattractive.
Right.
But she doesn't get that kind of attention. Like people aren't like, oh, I love Rebel Wilson, right? There's not that.
There's Amy Schumer.
Oh, there's Amy Schumer, but people don't like Amy Schumer.
Yeah, for different reasons. And once you don't, even if you don't like them for one reason, it'll make you dislike them for any reason.
Yeah.
Really.
And I think part of that leads into what we were talking about before, which is Instagram and Instagram face. And everybody looks the same, especially women. So we expect women to look like that. They're only hot if they have that Instagram look and everybody's face now looks the same.
Yeah, it's true though. Like what other than Jeremy Allen White, what else? Who else? Louis Capaldi?
But people love Louis Capaldi because
down-to-earth
he's
dude.
amazing. He's
Yeah.
so funny and he has such a great personality.
Ariana Grande?
Ariana Grande is conventionally attractive.
Not to me.
Okay, but not to you.
Okay, sorry.
It's not
Sorry.
to you.
This is not what we're talking about.
You need
It's
to
not
be-
who do you find hot, okay, or attractive.
You
okay?
need to be able to separate who do I not find attractive, but I can realize is
attractive.
conventionally
Well,
attractive based on society. You need to be able to separate
the
them,
two.
you know?
It's actually funny we're talking about this because me and some buddies were hanging out and we were talking, and we started talking about our crushes, and it talked about our sexual awakenings. You know, someone will come along and you'll see them, and all of a sudden you're like, it kind of like opens a door for you.
Oh, like when you were a kid?
Like, yeah, I think it goes as you get older through puberty, your stages of puberty. So we started kind of like naming some of these. So can I give you some of them?
Okay.
Do you have? Well, think of it. You have any of your
I'll
own?
think of mine, but yeah, you could start.
There's the obvious ones, right? Which is Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
I was just going to say Kelly Kapowski.
Kelly Kapowski, I think for most guys, was
Obviously.
on there as well. Kate Beckinsale in Underworld because of the leather suit,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
You know who people don't mention anymore? Catherine Zeta-Jones in The Mask of Zorro. That one scene where she's fighting Zorro in the stable, and then he like kind of slices off her clothes.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. I was
That-
like, I haven't seen that movie since I was a
Yes.
kid. I don't really remember.
She grabs the hat and she covers herself with it.
That's right. Oh, that's a really good scene. I know a lot of people also bring up Salma Hayek in
This,
Quentin Tarantino movie, Dust Till Dawn.
Dust Till
Yeah,
Dawn,
when
okay.
she puts her toe in Quentin
Its
Tarantino's mouth and pours the tequila and it runs down her leg into his mouth.
he wrote that movie, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he did. And you know what's funny?
Okay, so Salma, you're gonna put your toe in my mouth? No, it's part of the movie. We need to have this.
And you know what's funny? It is known that he has a massive foot fetish.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he loves feet. So the fact that he wrote that knowingly for himself, knowing how much he loves feet is kind of creepy.
Kind of creepy, yeah.
It's a little bit creepy.
No, this is for the story, Salma. We'll go with 2 toes the next time.
It's a great scene, though. It's a really, really good scene. But honestly, I'm thinking of an animated movie as the first one I think of.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Is it Jessica Rabbit? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Okay,
it's a Disney movie.
It's a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Jasmine?
Yes.
For you?
Specifically, the red scene in Aladdin when Jafar has captured Jasmine and he makes her wear this red outfit and she's in shackles and he's making her like a servant
Right.
to him. And then she gets locked in the hourglass. There's something about that scene. I don't know what it is.
Can you go into what is it about that scene? Like, what does it make you? How does it make you feel?
I don't know. I always felt like, why do I like this?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
And you waited till a podcast to bring it out.
Why do I like this scene?
But I think you're not alone because you told me there is a novel written about Jasmine falling in love with Jafar, right?
Somebody, I think it's called Desperate Measures. I can't remember the author's name,
Right.
But it's basically fan fiction about Jasmine and
It's
Jafar.
published. Like, it's published. You saw it in Indigo.
Popular. There's more than one book. I think it's a series.
What?
It's very popular. I have not read it, but I think I should.
There's one other one on the list, by the way.
Okay.
Cameron Diaz in The Mask.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She's never looked hotter.
Oh, she looks so good in that movie.
She never looked better. So those were some of the ones that we kind of were talking about. A lot of guys had this, and what Jessica Rabbit came up to.
I have another one. It's a music video. Can you guess? Actually, I have two. I have 2 music videos in my mind right now for Sexual Awakening. Can you guess which ones?
You're a Backstreet Boys fan.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of them? Like, okay,
That's one of them.
okay. Which video is it? Well, there's Everybody, which is like the one everyone thinks about.
It's not that one though.
I'll Never Break Your Heart.
No.
As Long as You Love Me.
No.
Incomplete.
No.
Okay, hold on. Is it one of their big hits?
Music videos.
You Are My Fire, My Desire. What's that one called?
No,
I
I'll
Want It
just
That
tell
Way?
you what it is. It's Quit Playing Games with My Heart. I remember being a kid watching this music video and I loved them, right? And then the second half of the music video, because they're in a basketball court or something.
remember.
They're outside
They
and
redid
it's
that
at night.
And it's raining.
And they're outside, but then halfway through the music video, it starts raining.
Oh, yeah.
And they start losing their shirts. And I remember watching that thinking, oh, I'm not supposed to be looking as a kid. And then looking and being like, oh, maybe I am supposed to be looking.
That's why they're doing this. They want to take the shirts off if they didn't want me to look.
And there's even like a close up. I don't know whose chest it is, but there is a close up. Or it might be Howie.
Not sure.
I'm not sure, but
Okay, well then.
anyway, that one is a big one for me.
Okay, if we're talking music videos, then Christina Aguilera's Dirty's got to be up there.
Remember when that was shocking?
Yeah.
That music video was banned in like a bunch of countries on MTV, I believe.
Christina Milian's Dip It Low.
Oh, that's
What's
a good
another
one.
one too? Britney's I'm a Slave
I'm a
for
slave
You.
for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was another one too.
I still know the dance to that.
Do you provide your own snake, or that depends on
No,
him?
that was in the MTV performance, not the music video. But
Oh, right.
Thanks for
Yeah.
showing up.
Well, okay, cool. Good to know. Anyone else on your list that you haven't mentioned that you can think of?
Yeah, another music video. Somebody who you never hear of anymore.
Okay, I can't go on. I need a hint.
My grandmother's maiden name.
I need a better hint.
What? Is it How Does It Feel? Is that the name of the song by D'Angelo?
Are you talking about Untitled by D'Angelo?
Oh, Untitled.
Yes.
Yes. But it's How Does It Feel is in the song.
I don't
right?
know. I just remember D'Angelo's big song was Untitled.
When they zoom out and it's like literally like a millimeter away from possibly a full frontal in that music video. Do you not know that music video?
No, I don't know that music video.
Oh my God, I thought this was iconic. Maybe it was just me that watched it over and over.
Yeah.
But he's shirtless and pantsless.
Yep.
And they zoom out far enough where you could see the V lines. You know the V lines?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And
okay.
like it's this close. It's this close to being a complete full frontal music video. But it doesn't quite get there.
Well, no, they can't give you the whole thing. They can't give you the whole Monty.
And that's another one. That was another big one for me.
A lot of music videos.
A lot of music videos. I spent every day, Much Music was on the television.
5
all
o'clock.
day,
What was it
every
called
day.
again? Much Live? Was it Much Live? Remember when
Much
they
on
had
Demand?
Well, remember when they had 2 hosts live at 5:00 every day and they have an audience in?
Yeah, wasn't that on demand? Much on demand?
I don't know. I don't
I'm
remember.
pretty sure it was much on demand.
It's funny. Everyone makes the same joke. Remember when Much Music used to show actual music videos?
I
and stuff?
know.
I remember Rap City a lot.
I went, hour-long broadcast viewer interaction television program. I went to a taping once
Did you?
when Leah Miller and Matt Babel were the hosts. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Did they have a live interview or anything like that?
I don't think so. No, I don't think, or did they? I can't remember. I was just so starstruck at the time.
I had a chance to be on Music Plus.
Music Plus.
Music Plus.
Channel 27.
That's right. What was it 27? No, it was 37.
Are you sure? I thought it was
No,
27 and Much
because
Music was 29.
36 in Ottawa is Fox. It's the Fox affiliate. And 37 was Music Plus, which was the French music
Oh, okay.
channel.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
So do you remember the name Cody Simpson?
Vaguely.
Australian artist.
Yes.
He's now like a swimmer. Like he's like a
Like
really,
an athlete?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think he tried out for the Olympics. Anyways, he came in and they asked me to come down and ask him a question in English. So I was the English guy. And I asked him a question because I know he was a big fan of, I think it was Eva Longoria. So I asked him to hit on Eva Longoria on television and he did.
What do you mean? Was she there? I don't
No.
understand. How did that happen?
I said, I heard you're a fan of Eva Longoria.
Yeah.
And he said, yes. I'm like, well, if Eva were here, what would you say?
Oh, if she were here.
And
okay.
he pretended to hit on her. Clearly that question wasn't good enough because it did make an impression on you. That's probably why I wasn't asked to come back as the English guy.
That was a stupid question.
No, it wasn't. Hey, Cody. Hi. Who are your influences? Who do you want to work with on your next album? Like, is that what you want me to ask? Not here, girl.
Okay, I know.
Last week, we got a message from Courtney. We were talking about movies that we say are our favorites, but what is our actual favorites?
Yeah.
She mentioned Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And I love Forgetting Sarah Marshall because it is one of the movies that got me through a breakup.
Okay, yeah.
I broke up with, I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been you. I think we were dating. No,
it wasn't me.
Man, take that back. Ooh, rewind. Don't remember, but I remember I was going through a breakup and that movie got me through it. Your friends are around for a while, but those moments when you're alone going through a breakup, it's usually like a television show or something.
Yeah.
Like Friends. I'm sure Friends is on everybody's
That's
list
mine.
for the most part.
That's
yeah.
my big one. Yeah, because I had watched Friends a little bit here and there growing up. My mom watched it when it was like on TV.
Yeah.
But I never watched it from start to finish. So when we broke up the first time,
The only time.
I watched that entire series and it was like my best friend.
Yeah.
My God. It was
Because it's comforting, right?
It was so comforting and it made me feel so much better at the time. And so that was my big one is Friends. So
The Office was another one too. I haven't been through that many breakups. I know how that sounds, but I mean, like, I haven't been through a lot of breakups where I was dumped. It's usually the other way around.
I've never dumped anyone.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh, it's a great feeling, especially when you know the
What?
relationship is over.
No, I'm actually kind of happy I've never dumped anybody because I wouldn't want to do that to anyone.
Well, it depends. Some people deserve to be broken up with because they suck. And
Sure. Yeah, of course.
if you cared at all about the relationship, it sucks because you're hurting the other person and that sucks. But on the other end, it's like, but this is what I want and this is what I need. So I'm kind of happy about it.
Yeah, I've only had relationships where I've been dumped or it was like a mutual kind of, we were both feeling like had run its course, I guess.
Did you ever have one where you wanted to do the breaking up, but you couldn't do it? You couldn't pull the trigger on it?
Nope, I'm just happy to be there.
Wait a minute. What's happening here? Are you just happy to be here?
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, if you want, you can try breaking up with me and see how it feels.
Okay.
You don't have to. I'm just saying, do you want to just try it out on me? Like, what would you say?
I would say that I can't take your toothbrush on the fucking kitchen counter anymore.
Hey, by the way,
we're done.
Okay. First of all, awesome reason to break up with somebody. Amazing reason to break up with somebody. And I don't think I've done it. It's actually not around.
Yeah, actually, you left the toothpaste on the coffee table for an entire day the other day.
That's how I get my start in the morning. Just drop a little bit in my coffee.
That's disgusting.
Do you always go to comedies
I think
for breakups?
So. Yeah.
It would really concern me if we broke up and we started watching true crime documentaries. That would be a little concerning to me.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we actually got a lot of comments about your take last week on having kids and how you don't think you have that motherly.
Oh, yeah.
We got a couple people who we're with you 100%. One girl named Stacy said that she wants to thank you for talking like that because she feels the same way and her friends don't understand. They all say the same thing. You have to have one.
Yeah.
You have to have a baby to actually
To know
what it's like. A lot of people commented that I kept mentioning the baby as it.
Did you? I didn't even notice.
I said, how many times do you feed it?
Oh, yeah.
How many times do you burp it?
I mean, they kind of look like little aliens when they come out. So they look like little its.
Another interesting comment we got was, it's our duty to recreate life to keep the planet going.
It's not I don't think it's our duty to keep life going.
Plus, if we don't have a kid, there's many people on TLC having their own show that have more than enough children for everybody.
They make up for us. Yeah, they make it up.
Do you think, you know how people, remember what's that old show on MTV? Teen Moms?
Teen Mom.
Do you believe some people grew up watching that show, wanted to be on that show, and had a kid to be on that show?
I hope not. What a shitty reason to have a kid.
But people are influenced by so much.
I know, it's so sad.
And like TLC, they have the shows like, what is it? 28 and Me or
16 kids and
16
counting.
16 Kindles and counting.
16 kids and counting. I don't even know what the number is anymore. Remember, like even like Octomom, she had 7 babies at once.
She's in the news.
John
last
and
week.
Kate plus 8.
John and Kate
Gosh,
plus 8.
TLC
right.
loves big families.
That was the first time I remember a big family like that.
Yeah.
Being on television. John, and remember her hairstyle? She had the Karen.
She had the original Karen cut.
The original Karen cut.
Yeah.
That's right. John Gosselin. But he always looked so defeated. He always looked at
I would too with 8 kids. Gosh, it would be. Somebody also asked us last week, what is one of your most embarrassing stories?
Oof. I had to interview the band Fun. Do you remember Fun? Janelle Monáe.
We Are Young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun. I forgot the band's name in the middle of the interview.
Oh, that happened to me too once.
Did it?
Yeah.
With who?
I don't even remember. I'm not even kidding. Canadian artist. Worked with the Chainsmokers. Sean something. I don't know.
Sean Hook?
No. It wasn't one of the,
it wasn't one of the
famous
Seans. Yeah.
Wasn't a Desmond, wasn't a Hook, wasn't a Tyler Shaw, is there another Sean? There's another Sean. There wasn't a Shawn Mendes.
So wait,
I can't remember.
Did you say anything in the interview to them?
I was introing, this is when we used to do Facebook Live, and I was introing them on the Facebook Live.
Oh no.
And I was like, this is
the story of a girl who drowned a river and drowned the whole world.
And I was like, I'm so sorry. And then somebody said what it was. Somebody that was filming. They reminded me what their name was. Cool. They were totally cool, but I felt like an ass. Sorry, I hijacked that story.
That's okay. I was interviewing Fun in Montreal. Nate Roos is the name of the lead singer, and Jack Antonoff is the other dude. Okay, and there was another person too.
I didn't even know that. He's married to Margaret Qualley.
Who?
Jack Antonoff.
He also dated Lena Dunham.
Also best friends with Taylor Swift. Anyway, we're
6 degrees of Jack Antonoff.
Yeah, we're just going on.
He was cool. Okay, so we're doing the interview, and in the middle, I totally forgot the band's name, and I had to say, guys, forgot the name.
Oh my god!
And they were quiet. I restarted my question, and as I started getting my question out, I remembered
it came to you.
Fun.
Oh.
So, anyways, the interview ended. Nate Roos was not happy about it. So I turned to Jack. I'm like, hey man, sorry. He's like, no, man, that was hilarious. He's like, no, it's never happened to us before. It's fine. And I'm like, cool. Could you tell him? Well, I wasn't being an asshole about it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's cool. Can you let him know? Because I was a little embarrassed because I totally forgot the band's name and stuff like that. After, I should have said, hey guys, because when I remembered the name, I was just having some fun with you, but you only think about that.
That's so bad.
You only think about that after, right?
That is so bad.
It's pretty embarrassing.
So that's your embarrassing story?
Well, that was one of them. I have many.
Same.
When I was having my first communion, I wore an all white suit. That was pretty embarrassing.
Why is that embarrassing? Seems pretty suave.
Not when you're a kid. An all white suit with white shoes.
With a cummerbund?
No, it wasn't a wedding.
Oh.
It was just a communion.
Is that the day that you knew you wanted to be a priest?
Yes.
I mean, and now you became a radio host.
Okay, so this is how it went. My mom says when I was growing up, I wanted to be a priest. I don't remember that. But growing up in that house, there's a very good chance that I was influenced to go into the church.
Yeah.
Then I said no. Then I wanted to be a wrestler. And then
what a departure.
And then like my arms look like mosquito bites on a string of spaghetti. So that wasn't going to happen. So I just ended up being a radio announcer.
You should have been a wrestling priest.
A wrestling priest.
A wrestling priest. Your like shtick was that you're a man of God, right?
Actually, it's called a gimmick. It's not shtick, it's gimmick.
Shtick is the same thing.
No, but in wrestling terms, it's called a gimmick.
Okay.
And by the way, there's always already one of those. There's already a few of them. There was the Deacon. Okay, get this. You know who was a wrestler called the Deacon? Because the Deacon is like Dave Bautista.
Oh, really?
Dave Bautista
that
was
the
Deacon
his,
at first.
Gimmick.
At first, who's gone on to be the best wrestler
and
actor?
Now only wants to do acting.
John Cena was getting
he
all
wanted
these.
to become a priest. That's how he ended up here. For some reason,
John Cena was getting all these movies, and Dave Bautista wanted to do some acting when he was a wrestler, and they said no. So he's like, forget it. So he left to go be an actor, became Drax. Now he's a massive actor.
Yeah.
And the best one, by the way. He's a better actor than John Cena.
Oh, and Dwayne Johnson.
And Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne
He's
Johnson's
better
a bad actor.
Well, he plays the same role in every in everything
that
right?
he does. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of my embarrassing stories.
Okay. Well, how about we get to my embarrassing story next week? Because it's a long one.
All right.
It's kind of long.
So is it long or not?
It's medium long.
That's it again for another episode. This is episode 6. Thanks for listening. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, hit like, subscribe, and you can always follow us on TikTok at Tony and Dana. See you next week.
Thanks for listening.